Hello, my name is Jordan Henderson. Um, Being a full-time student. Um, Born and raised from Idaho. Haven't I live probably within 3 hours of all the cities that I was born and grew up, and so something kind of unique about me. I'm not really too special. I'm kind of an average person, but one of my favorite things that I enjoy doing is I like to try every sport that consists of a board. So right now, some of the sports that I'm actively in and have tried are snowboarding, longboarding, skateboarding, wakeboarding, and wake surfing. Kind of the things that are next on my list of things that I want to try would be mountain boarding, kiteboarding, and possibly any other boarding sport that I haven't discovered yet that I'm working on. Um, to explain in my own words about 9 blocks that we've understand last week. The 9 blocks help me break down all aspects of the area in the business necessary for success. It would help me design, organize, develop, and then how I can relate each of those components to my business. So that's pretty cool. The 9 building blocks would also help me develop, test, and adapt to the necessary changes in order to produce a successful product or service while reducing the risk and expense. I think this concept is very exciting. I used to think really heavy on the whole develop the business plan and develop the future forecasting, but just like in the introduction, it really made a point that why would we develop a product and then wait to give it to the customers to see if it sinks or floats or whatever. I think it's very, very important to definitely seek out the feedback before you actually get into the expense. Then kind of going through other questions throughout this week's material. The Versta used the block system by discovering a solution to an ongoing problem with catheter infection. They started to break it down to discover what ideas went to which category. At first, what they thought their customers or who their customers were really actually pivot and proved to be their key partners, which given them many different groups involved, they had to ask all different groups, like not just customers, but like the hospital agency and the Medicare and Medicaid, as well as the doctors and nurses that are involved using that particular product. So from the video, they proved their product by testing it in the labs, and they went ahead and validated it from over 65 different customers, partners, as well as the industry leaders, which was huge change when they exploited the 11 billion pain point. So some of the assumptions that did not hold true in the validation process. The ultraviolet light has been used in other applications, but the risks involved led them to discover safety being the highest point. So the company had to pivot around their entire business around that. How I can see this being similar validation process determined in new venture is it would allow us to explore and test the creative ideas with customers for feedback. And then using that feedback would help us develop some of the true key partners instead of the thought of customers. I know too often in most cases people what they think would be their customer really turned out not to be the customer, but one that would have great feedback to how you can change and adjust and actually adapt to your target market. Kind of the similar validation process will prove that it works and what needs to be changed. It will help discover the true values, because I mean you gotta consider all the people that are involved, not just the customers, but I mean, to think about what's important to the partners and all the different groups involved would make a great change in how to determine. And so that validation process really went through all that. So I hope I answered all the questions here. It's a great to the start first week, a lot of learning, a lot of reading, and I look forward to the next week's interaction with everyone. So thanks and have a good one.